First Date. I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina.
I
Welcome
brought
to
you guys-
summer break.
Yeah. So I have a story to share with you guys. I don't know how to start this story. But I'm going to start
nervous. I
with
feel
the
a little
title.
nervous now.
The title
Okay.
of my story is I Got Boomered.
Oh.
And here's what happened. It was around Easter, and I was just scrolling TikTok like I do. And I you know what? Like, I have a really, I am my worst date. TikTok. Like, if you saw a post on TikTok, if there was a comment, me. I is my worst date.
Well, no.
Okay,
You and I are.
Because
Because that's actually so funny to me. And I actually kind of love that because TikTok knows you so well, you know, like the algorithm is so precise and like tuned into you. But Cassie and I share a TikTok basically because we
It's
both use
brilliant.
the My Worst Date TikTok.
And they're like,
even
who
just
is
for
this
lurking.
unhinged person?
Yes. So I love whenever things pop up on the For You page and I'm like, oh, this is a Cassie thing.
Yes.
Like, I'm like, oh, this is a Cassie
There's a cheer
algorithm thing.
competition. Oh, cheer competitions popping up. I'm like, oh, Keegan's been using it. Oh, Jack's commentary from the Valley. I'm like, oh, this is a Keegan.
100%. Yeah. If it's Bravo stuff, it's probably me.
Yeah.
But I blame you entirely, credit you entirely for all of the national park stuff, which is amazing.
So great.
So
Honestly,
good.
I love
I'll
that
take
the
credit.
national parks got. This is the thing about America.
Oh,
Is
God.
we have an
Where to
incredible
start?
sense of humor.
Yeah. We are not
Because
serious.
we can't be. I mean,
Can't
like,
be.
what are we supposed to do at this point? Like, the national parks got defunded, and
Yeah.
they were like, bet, here's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna post
Yeah.
thirst traps, just
Yeah.
like hot lumberjacks.
Well,
that
it's-
one guy, what's his name? Thorin.
Thor Bradley, and then the other guy.
Yes.
What the hell's that guy's name with all the tattoos? Really hot.
Oh, he is hot,
Hot.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's making me want to check out his content because I'm like, what's
Yeah.
he? What he do?
What's
Yeah,
this
yeah.
about?
What's this
Yeah.
about? Intrigued.
At your own risk, honey. At your own risk, because it is
Does it get spicy?
it's spicy over there.
And
He's like shy
that.
spicy. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Well, anyway, that was our episode. Everybody.
We're gonna pause. Everybody, we need to take 5. We'll be right back.
So those aren't like the actual national parks legitimate sites, but I do love that it's bringing attention to like the national parks. I think that's cool. Anyway, back to the how I got boomered story. So scrolling, it was like scrolling through TikTok, and I came across one of those like, oh, please support my grandpa. He's, been working so hard, and he's been making these slippers, and he's trying to make money in his retirement. And I was like, oh my, and I'm like sitting there like, oh my God, this is so sweet. And it's like his granddaughter posting this thing. So I was like, oh wow, these are actually really cute slippers. I'll go check them out. Sure. And so hold on one second, guys. This has a image to go with it.
okay. I'm so excited.
So I got these slippers.
Oh,
they're
they are cute.
Yeah, they've got cats on them. A cat.
Yeah. Real
Okay,
cute.
Yeah.
These were made by Grandpa.
Aw.
Were they?
Nope.
I was going to
Nope.
say, I don't think they were.
Because,
They don't
like,
look like
a
handmade
day later, I
slippers
was
at
like,
all.
I don't, something's weird. And then it's like, I go through all the posts and it's like recycled posts. So it's like definitely like some kind of, I like
Oh, it's a scam.
paid more
You got
attention
scammed.
to
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I literally just boomered myself.
But you know what? Here's the thing. Like, I still think that's good karma on you. Because your intentions were pure.
Yes, agreed.
But I got so boomered. But I got my slippers, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, they are cute.
They're cute.
slippers.
They're cute.
Yeah.
Listen, I needed slippers. What I'll say is, you got me, Pawsy. You got me.
Well, that's not a good long-term strategy for a business because it's not like you're going to go out there and buy it. Like, you can't be like emotionally scamming people or tricking people into buying your products by triggering some sort of emotional response.
The thing
You know?
is too, what
Well,
makes
but
me
they-
so
but
mad
they
is when I
do,
went
like-
back to the post and saw like the man sewing. He's like a tailor. Like he's sewing clothes. It's not like it's not like video imagery. I just feel so stupid. I was like, oh my God, I'm so dumb.
Well, don't feel stupid because they got you because you're an empathetic person, and this has happened on TikTok before. I've seen it, and it is really heartwarming. Like
Yeah.
whenever it's somebody
Real,
who's
when
just
it's
like,
real.
when it's real, like, and the TikTok community rises up and rallies for this person, and like. That is lovely. That makes me believe in humanity. It's just every time that happens, there's going to be some grifter, some scammer, some con person who sees that and is just like, oh, toying with people's emotions. That's a good way to grift.
Oh.
you
Yeah.
know? So
I mean, to be fair, it was like under $20 total, but it, but still, I was like, oh, I got such
Yeah.
dumb. Such
I mean,
dumb.
you're not dumb, but they get 20, or 200 people to spend $20.
on some factory made slippers
Mm-hmm.
that they said grandpa made. You fuckers. How dare you?
How pissed I would be if I found out my grandpa's
Being
image was
used?
being used like that on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
I'd
my
be
God, I'd be
furious.
so mad. I'd
Yeah.
go to war.
Yeah, to be fair, it was probably AI. Who knows? I didn't dive that deep into it. But
We live in the worst timeline.
know.
Like,
It
we
is.
really fucking do. I won't be here.
my
The worst.
God. Speaking of something I heard on TikTok, I fucking have to share this story with you. I think I might have sent it to you. I don't remember if I did, but did you see? It's a guy. It's another podcast. It's a Dr. So-and-so's podcast, and people call in with like things that have happened or stories or whatever. And this woman had called in because, speaking of AI, she found on her stepdad's phone, she's 30 years old, found on her stepfather's phone an image of her and one of her friends, like just a like snapshotty picture that was like maybe probably taken from a her Facebook or whatever. And he AI their bodies naked, nude. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Oh no.
And this is like her stepdad, who's been her stepdad, somebody who she's, loves and has been part of her life for a really long time, to suddenly now be like, wait, what?
That is so disgusting. I saw another one. I
terrible.
think it was on TikTok, or maybe it was on Reddit, where a woman, and she was an adult woman too, I think in her 20s or 30s, and she was saying that her stepdad got drunk and like stole her underwear or something.
No.
And when she told her mom about it, her mom like completely downplayed it and was like, well, that's not like, he was drunk, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like,
I'm
dude,
sorry.
this
No.
is
This
is
your
terrible.
anything with any sexual overtones, undertones, whatever, with somebody who has raised you as
Yes.
your father
Oh,
is so fucking
God.
like,
I
wrong.
could never. No, I've never had a stepfather, but both of you were raised by
Yes, yeah.
stepfathers.
mhm.
Imagine finding out some diabolical shit like that. That fucking is a brain fuck. That is a fucking brain fuck.
Yeah,
Because
it's
then
awful.
you're just like, you found one. His fucking passcode to his phone is her birthday.
No.
I don't like that. I do not like that.
Dude, I've seen TikToks though, because I also follow some sex workers on TikTok. So I'll sometimes they're like, get ready with me before I go, do anal with my customer or whatever. And I'm like, okay. Great.
All right, so that's good. Let's do it.
But there have been stories where they're like, people find out that their family members have subscribed to their OFs.
Oh, no. Fuck no.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would
it's
be
actually
my worst nightmare.
disturbingly common.
I
need it not to be. Wish it wasn't.
I don't know. I just want to read my books and like plant my garden and be away, hang out with my cat. Like this, the world is so just icky right now.
It really is. And we found, Cassie sent me down the rabbit hole earlier.
Sorry.
Down one of, we've talked about it on the podcast before. These stories always strike me as the most diabolical. So at Meg's pops up this week thinking that she gets home from work and her husband's not there. And so she thinks he's a missing person. She files a missing person
As
report.
you would.
Yeah.
It's your husband.
Yes. So they've been together since 2021. They had just moved in September to be like 900 miles away from her family and closer to his family. So, yeah, she just comes home. He's not there. She
Rings on
files
the counter. All of his stuff is gone. His toothbrush is missing, just like 3 pairs of shoes. So it's like, okay, like it's giving very much like I just went on an away trip but didn't tell anybody and left his dog.
But left your ring? Like that would be the one thing
That-
to me
yeah.
that I'd be like, okay, like I've been
Left.
left.
I've been
right?
abandoned. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she ropes his family in, like this whole thing. And I felt so terrible for her. First of all, how awful that must be to go through. But then sharing it online, because of course it went huge. It went viral on TikTok. But she's legitimately crashing out, handling it in she ends up she's not sleeping. So she goes to the community college to see, because he had like a class the next day, and she's sitting in the
Finals.
parking lot
Yes.
waiting for him. And people are like, honey, like go to the bank immediately.
Yes.
But it's just like,
Well, but you're not thinking
You're not-
rationally at
No.
all when something like that
Right.
happens. And that's why it's so it's such a shitty thing to do to another person. And I am not somebody who likes conflict at all. I really don't. If I can avoid it, I will. But it is so cruel to the other person to do it that way. Like that, there's no way I could possibly ever do something like that, because it just sends the other person into a spiral. She's not thinking rationally. She's
Right.
not thinking like, we can look at it on the outside and be like, you need to find a lawyer, you need to go to the bank, like you need
Right.
to do these things. But like her brain she hasn't had time to process it. She doesn't have any amount of closure whatsoever.
Right.
She's still trying to figure out what's going on. And even though it seems obvious to us what's going on, like this is your husband.
Right.
Yeah, and I think to myself, like, what I would do in her shoes, like, Eric and I have such a good relationship, or at least I think that we do.
Mm-hmm.
If I just came home and he wasn't here and his wedding ring
Oh.
was there, the crashiest of crash
crash
outs
outs.
that
Yes,
I would
yes.
have.
Girl, I'd have to
Yeah.
fly back to the U.S. and I don't want to do that.
Not right now.
No. But I would. For you, I will.
But yeah, listen, and apparently he's with some coworker who's also has a boyfriend of 11 years and a kid.
Who she's not going to leave. She's like,
You
no.
gotta be fucking kidding me. You know what? Trust nobody.
Nope.
I'm done. I'm gonna go get a cabin. I'm fucking done.
Girl, I envy you sometimes. Like in the way that you're like single. And I'm happy in my marriage. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but you shouldn't, because here's the problem is like, I really am at a place in my life where a lot of this stuff is said kind of jokingly about like, oh, I'm done. I'm going to go live in a cabin in the woods. Only kind of jokingly. I mean,
Yeah.
there is a deep, deep part of me that kind of really wants to do that. But also I am in a phase in my life where I really do feel this way. Like I feel like you just never know people. And maybe
Yeah.
it's because we've done this podcast for so long. I mean, I feel like I know you, and I feel like there are people in my life, of course, that I like love and trust and know. But in terms of getting to know new people, you hear stories like this and
Yeah.
I'm just like, what do you mean? I mean, I'm sure maybe there
Yeah.
were signs or whatever, but I'm like, what do you mean you were in a marriage with someone for X number of years and they could do something this emotionally dishonest to you? Like it is so, and that stuff really does scare me. And so the reason why I say not to envy it is because like I wish I could trust people more.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm just like, I don't know. People are capable of really scary
Anything.
things.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult. I think dating at any time, especially as a woman, just because of the physical danger, is a true leap of faith that you are putting yourself out there and being vulnerable,
Yeah.
going on any date or meeting any new person.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
and-
scary. I mean, and even in friendships, I've made, you know, good new friendships, but I've had to really work on allowing myself to be vulnerable, like even in friendships, you
Yeah,
know,
of course.
where it's just like, yeah, you have to, there's a certain amount of like, if you want connection, if you want companionship, like you do have to, bury yourself in a way that can be really scary. And, yeah, as far as like relationships go, like that is still something that I think is very nerve-wracking to me, because I think I just absorb way too much true crime. I absorb too many of these stories
Yeah.
where I'm just like, yeah, you really, how do you ever know? How do you ever know? And the only
don't.
thing that I
You
can ever
don't,
think
yeah.
is like, you have to trust it enough to
Yeah.
try,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's getting any easier. I think with our deep dive into the online world, there was an article this weekend. I'm like, kind of nerdy. I think it was the New Yorker, maybe. The writer's name's Gia, and she wrote an article called "My Brain Is Broke."
Is it Gia, J-I-A?
G-I-A.
Oh, Gia.
G.
Okay. I
Yeah.
wondered if it was Gia Tolentino or whatever
Or
her name is,
maybe.
who wrote Trick Mirror. She used to write for Jezebel. She's a really good writer.
Oh, it might be. But yeah, she was, I happened upon it, and it really summarizes like how I feel about social media right now, and that like you cannot tell what is real anymore.
I think that
And-
that's what scares me. I think that is what scares me. I think it's this timeline specifically that freaks me
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
because you can't trust anything.
We know too much and know too little at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. And also, like, online worlds have become real in a way that, like, it has made real life, like, duller and harder. And I think I really have to push myself to connect in real life
Yeah.
now. And it's always been something that is difficult for me anyways, but I've noticed it's even more difficult now.
I agree.
I think that there's
Yeah.
something to be said about that too, Christina, which is that there's not the friction. You can create as much or as little friction as you want in your social media world and your social media life in these parasocial relationships. Whereas like if you don't want to have any friction at all, you just want to smoothly go down the road and not have to argue, you can literally curate a world around you that is just saying yes to everything you believe and just being fluid and easy down the stream. But if you want a conflict in your world, you can go to spaces that give you that conflict, give you that energy, give you that nudge, that roughness. But it is dull when you compare it to the real world, because that level of friction doesn't happen in the real world unless you really are like fucking out of
and
your
you're
mind.
still and
Yeah.
you're still controlling the friction. Like you're still engaging
Exactly.
it in the way that you want to engage with it, which is not real. Like that's
No.
not how conflict occurs in real life.
Right.
Like, that's not how friction occurs in real life. I do think, and I don't know how I'm going to do this, like short of just going, spending way too much money to go on like a month-long retreat or something where I have to disconnect. But I have found, I don't think social media is healthy for me. I know it's not really healthy for a lot of people, most people, I would argue. But that being in that world and being in that world for as long as I have been, I can't even imagine like Gen Z, Gen Alpha, like their whole lives
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
kind of like online and absorbed in that world. I don't think I see myself accurately because of the amount of time that I spend online, not just physically, which I definitely think I don't see myself accurately physically because of the amount of time I spend. We're not supposed to look at that many beautiful faces. We're just not.
Yeah.
We can't
and
process
also we don't even see our own selves reflected correctly because of the camera and the way that it
the way we look at
distorts our
ourselves.
face.
Yeah.
But also
sure.
just my life. I think like because people are constantly posting, I think that's why I like TikTok, is because you do see a little bit more. People are just kind of like real and scummier on there, which I do appreciate. Because when people have been posting their highlight reels, and I think especially for millennials, because that is what Instagram was. Everything was very highly curated.
Yeah.
So it's not just your physical appearance, but it's like your whole life. It's like, there's still this kind of mindset that you can have it all. It's different from the 80s career woman have it all, but it's like you can get up at 5 a.m. and get your green juice and do your Pilates and have your collagen and go on your hot girl walk and then also like kill it at your job and fucking read 16 books and like, and it's overwhelming. It's really overwhelming.
Instagram has become, it feels a lot like LinkedIn to me. You know what I mean? Whenever I get on Instagram or LinkedIn, I'm like immediately bummed. It feels so fake to me. I'm just like, that's not real life. None of that is real life. That's not real sentences. That's not real feelings. It feels a little bootlicker too to me.
100%. Well, I mean,
You know what I
Definitely
mean?
LinkedIn for sure.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we all
LinkedIn is the
simping for
bootlickiest
capitalism?
of all the social media.
It's so funny. It really is. Like LinkedIn of all of them is definitely like the one where they're like, you know what? I love my corporate job. Corporate America's great. Look at this amazing thing our corporate job did this week.
CEO daddy. Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I know. I feel like we've done this before, but we should fuck, marry, kill social media platforms.
Oh,
We have done this before.
I was thinking national parks.
Ooh. We haven't done that before.
I mean, I'm
No,
up
we
for
have
both.
not.
Well, let's do national parks because we haven't done it before.
Okay, yeah.
And it'll be easier to think of. I was going to have to dig deep on some social medias. Okay, let me think then. National parks. This is great.
I mean, you got to
because,
do Yellowstone.
I've never been to Yellowstone. Have you guys been to Yellowstone?
Yeah.
I have
Okay.
not. I have been to
was a kid.
Sequoia, so I'm putting Sequoia down.
That's a good
Okay,
one.
I'm going to do Zion
Oh, okay. Also beautiful.
in Utah.
Utah.
Gorgeous. And the thing about this, and I
think
love
you've
this because we
had
have
to
so
been
many.
there. I think that, we can.
No, you don't have to have been there. Like you can look
Parse.
at pictures and
Yeah.
kind of get like an idea of what you're looking at. Like Yellowstone is definitely more foresty.
Yeah.
Zion is like
Rugged.
red rocks.
Yes.
It's like, desert red rocks. And then Sequoia is like big ass trees.
Yeah.
Beautiful big
I
trees.
think I know what I'm going to do with that, if you know what I mean.
And that motherfucking tree.
Yeah.
But I know we have a lot of listeners who are not American. So just Google these so that you have an idea of what they are. But
Look at pictures of them before we tear everything down and develop on top of it because we're garbage people.
Yeah,
So.
we're trash monsters. But the thing is, we could do this fuck, marry, kill 100 times.
Yeah.
And like the parks would always be so different because I mean, you
They
go
are very
to
different.
the Southeast and you're going to get a completely different national park than if you're in
Everglades.
the Pacific Northwest.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
going to get eaten by a gator.
Truly. But you get to ride on those fucking crazy boats
Yeah.
that go so fast.
Fan boats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Everglades. I saw and I didn't send it to you guys because I feel like I send you way too many astrology memes. But it
Send
was
them. I don't care.
it was the signs as national parks.
oh.
And I wish I could remember,
Why
but I
did you
remembered.
not?
I don't know, but I remember Pisces was Everglades because it was like a little swampy, a little mysterious.
Amazing. I definitely wonder if Aries was Death Valley or something.
It was something like that. It was
Like
something
Joshua
hot
tree.
and
Yeah, hot and-
red.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Capricorn.
I think it
would
might
be
have been Joshua Tree.
Foresty.
I feel like Capricorn might even be Yellowstone. It's classic,
Classic. Stable.
you know, staple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but when it goes off, it will
Bitch goes
destroy
off.
everything.
Truly.
Yes. Honey.
Isn't Yellowstone where they had that night of the bears, where like in the 60s or 70s, where the bears just like went ham,
Amazing.
like separately? Night of the Grizzlies, I think is what it was called. I think it was in Yellowstone, and it was back when I have pictures of my great grandma in Yellowstone feeding bear cubs, because back in the day, that used to be something that they would advertise because they're like, bears aren't dangerous,
Ooh.
like bears are safe.
That's
Like,
not what you should be advertising.
So it was like
We got the nice
attraction. Yeah, it was like an attraction
That's
to
where
go to
Yogi
Yellowstone
the bear came
and
from.
like
Yeah.
engage with the bears. And so that all changed on the night of the Grizzlies, and I think it was in Yellowstone because it was like separately, 2 separate grizzly bears, independent. I don't know if they had like a meeting beforehand,
Yes.
but like they were like never
Not
again,
today.
not anymore, and they like murdered a bunch of people.
Oh shit!
I should not laugh, but yeah, they like
It's a serial murder.
Wow.
And after that, they were like, yeah, we can't fuck with the bears anymore. It turns out.
Don't
Yeah.
touch the bears. Don't look at the bears. Don't feed the bears.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Yellowstone.
Okay. So Yellowstone steady Eddie, right? Like been around for a long
Well,
time. Classic.
Until it
gentleman.
blows up.
Right.
You know, you got the volcano there. You've got the geyser there.
Geyser.
So I feel like
Stinks.
it's a little like, yeah.
I mean,
Bad
but it's
hygiene.
called Old Faithful, you know, which means he's. Here's the thing I feel about Old Faithful. You know what? It does stink, but it is always on schedule, and you know, and that means it's probably got a good diet.
It's regular.
It's
yeah.
regular.
It takes a probiotic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very,
Okay.
very
Mhm.
cleansed. Yeah.
Okay.
You're right. I mean, is it waiting to explode? Yeah, it's got like a heavy corporate job. Its boss is breathing down its fucking neck,
High pressure.
not
Yes.
making nearly as much money as he should be. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
Stressed about the
Totally
KPIs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
Yeah. Yellowstone is definitely a Capricorn. Because especially now, like when the funding's been cut, that's like
Yeah.
one of our biggest national parks
Yeah.
too. It's like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Like, how are we going to manage this? We got to work with a small budget now
Yeah.
to keep things running smoothly.
But here's what I trust about a Capricorn. They could blow their gasket and be diabolical, but they're really good under pressure. So as much as that pressure is there, they're like, you know what? I'm going to need like a night off or wait from people for a couple days or whatever, but I'm steady fucking Eddie and I'm diverse. I have so much going
True.
on here. I got
I
buffalo.
contain
I got
multitude.
yeah, multitudes, exactly. I have bison. I have, you know what I mean? Like I take in everything and I take care of it all. You know, and there's something really mature and steady about a Yellowstone.
Yeah.
And then you got sorry.
Sequoia. Yeah. The big fucking trees, the serenity of it. That's somebody that's actually at peace.
At peace,
Sequoia.
yes.
Sequoia is
Zen.
very, very quiet, very zen.
here's the thing though. Sequoia is the most likely to start a cult.
I'm okay with that. I would join Sequoia's cult, I
Me
think.
too.
I think I
It
would.
would get me. Cult of the trees.
Cult of the trees. Oh no.
Wow.
But yeah, no, like Sequoia's just, it's beautiful. It feels very serene. I've camped in a lot of different environments, not a lot, but several different environments. Big tree camping, great.
The best.
You know,
Yes.
like forest camping like that.
The
is
worst.
Lovely.
Joshua Tree Wind Farm.
What was that? It was like
Christ.
Joshua Tree circa 2022, whenever we all went.
hour desert
Fuck.
Yeah, the three.
Me.
And
I think we
so
almost
for our
left, all of
listeners,
us.
I don't remember. No, I didn't almost leave because the way that I feel about camping is like you have to.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like you've survived something at the end of camping, it's like not camping.
Did you
And
go
that's
camping?
that's definitely how that felt. We went camping together, listeners, to Joshua Tree, and it was in October, and it was just
Cold.
we just managed to go on a weekend when it was like cold, rainy, and also had like 60 to 80 mile per hour winds.
Bullshit.
Yeah, so it was just like whipping the shit out of us.
It was awful.
Whipping the shit out of our tent.
And we were like
Also-
up on like a top of like and it was just straight wind. I was like, we're gonna get blown away.
Do you guys remember the size of Eric and I's tent?
Yes.
It was like
Yes,
a
you
fucking
had like a
1-bedroom
mansion.
apartment.
Yeah, yeah, and it got wrecked. Like
It did.
our little like 2-person tent that I was sleeping in did great.
Yeah.
like
we were also down a bit, kind of protected.
We were down a bit. It muscled through that storm like nobody's business, you know, because it was compact, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
your tent
Was
was
like
like,
a yurt.
too much open space.
Yeah.
It really was. Like you could put a full king size bed in that tent.
You
Yeah.
probably could.
It was huge.
Oh my God.
But okay, so Zion, stunning.
Yeah.
Like if you Google pictures of Zion, and Zion is the one where like if you're watching TikTok and somebody comes up over when you drive into Zion and you come like up over this hill, it is the most stunningly
It is
beautiful thing
beautiful.
you've ever seen.
it's the
like,
Leo of
oh,
Yes.
just
But vapid
gorge.
and vapid as shit. You know what I'm saying?
And has a right to be like it's like big red rocks, but also like lots of green throughout, gorgeous sunsets, beautiful like water. You know, there's like little waterfalls, little places, hot springs. Like it's to me, yeah. Zion is so stunning.
Almost
I
too
think
good looking, right? You know what I mean?
almost too good looking.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think I
don't
know what I'm
trust
gonna
it.
do.
Yeah. Okay.
I know
same.
what I'm gonna do.
I do too.
I'm gonna fuck Zion.
Okay.
Because I'm just like, this is a one and done. Like, if it's into me, I'm into you for the night. I'm not trying to make this a long term thing,
Right.
because I can't. My ego can't withstand it.
right.
But we do it for the gram. Like, go to Zion, do some yoga poses, post on your
true.
gram.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that is what it's for. Beautiful. I'm gonna marry Sequoia.
Okay.
Like, I know that Yellowstone is the most consistent. Like, Yellowstone's gonna get the taxes done. Like, Yellowstone is gonna
Yeah.
like handle your business.
Man.
But Sequoia, there is something so like peaceful to my soul about Sequoia.
Gentle.
Yeah.
Gentle. I feel like my nervous system could really benefit from like, especially in this day and age that we're living in, I need something that's going to be like soothing, calming. You know, Sequoia is going to rub my back.
Yeah.
Sequoia is going to read books aloud to me. I appreciate that. Cassie's like, ugh.
No, you just ruined it.
No, I
was
need
with
it. I
you
need
until
it.
Yeah. No.
The back rubbing, you're not into
Yeah.
that? I've got very stiff like trapezoids.
Yeah. I hire professionals for that.
And
I
then
want that to be
I'm gonna friend Yellowstone. I'm gonna friend Yellowstone because like again, very steady. Like if anything happens, like if I get in my feels with Zion or if I'm a little frustrated with Sequoia, I can call Yellowstone.
Oh, yeah.
And they're gonna like
Talk you
they're
out.
gonna tell me exactly what to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am going to marry Yellowstone. I need a boss bitch as a partner. You know, somebody that's going to carry their part of the load, somebody that's going to be dependable, somebody that still has surprises, you know? It's going to go off one day. I'll be like, where the fuck did that come from? You know?
Never saw
But-
it coming.
Never saw it coming. But yeah, I'm gonna marry Yellowstone, and then I cannot fuck somebody as hot as Zion. I just can't. I won't enjoy myself
I know.
because I'll be
Too self-conscious.
too self-conscious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck Sequoia,
Yeah.
the quiet, silent type.
It's gonna
True.
be
hot.
It's gonna be like. Here's the thing about sex with Sequoia. It's gonna be tantric. So
Oh yeah, probably.
Not
It's
for
not-
Cassie.
No,
not for
Cassie
me,
doesn't
but
like that. Yeah.
it's gonna be
But you know
doing
what? Here's-
something weird with this like fingers where
Yeah.
they're not in all the way, and you're like more, and it's just like driving you crazy. And you're like, this is going
Edging?
on too long. Yeah, yeah. Sequoias will edge you for sure.
You know though, like
Edgelord.
here's the thing about Zion. I feel like you should fuck Zion on mushrooms.
Oh.
I feel like that would remove all of the self-consciousness.
Yeah.
Plus, gorgeous. Can you imagine how pretty Zion must be if you're on shrooms?
You break your brain.
You're like, I think I saw God.
Are you God? Oh, well, what are you gonna do, Cass?
This has been tough for me because I got to be honest. Like, I was on the fence. I thought I was going to marry Sequoia. I did, but I don't think I
Did he
can.
ruin it for you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You'd get bored.
I do love it though, and I'm a bit of a chaos goblin myself. But then when Keegan said that Yellowstone was going to do my taxes, I was like, well, I'm going to marry Yellowstone then. I mean, it sent me right there. I was like, well, you're right. And I want
Reliable.
that. I want reliable, steady Eddie. Here's the thing. Can Yellowstone be cold more often than it's warm? Yeah. Does that bother me in a relationship? Not as much as somebody doing my taxes for me. And so I'm gonna marry Yellowstone. And I love to win over somebody that's difficult. You know, we know this about me. Mama loves a challenge. And if you can win over a Yellowstone, which is very, tough, a little hard to get in, guarded, a little,
Wild.
like cold, a little wild. There's something to be said about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. I'm going to stick with my steady Eddie marrying Yellowstone. I, as well, am going to fuck Zion. And the reason is he too hot for me? Of fucking course.
You have the confidence for it, though. I feel like you're going to go in.
I have a lot
confident.
of false confidence. Unwarranted levels of confidence.
I love
that
it.
will allow me to at least have one night. Now, will it wake me up in the middle of the night thinking about how he saw all my folds and wrinkles? Yeah, for the rest of my life. But in that moment, somehow I'm bold enough to believe that Zion really liked me that one night, and that's all.
You could feast on that for a long time.
I will. It'll be a roller coaster of emotions. One day I'll be like, I can't. He fucking saw all those goddamn dimples. Oh, my legs are so ugly. Ugh. I'm gonna go through that, and then I'm gonna be like, yeah, I fucked Zion. You know what I'm saying?
but
you know what I'm saying?
but
But
He still hit it.
yeah,
he still counts though.
he hit
Yeah,
that.
it does.
You know what I'm saying? And then because here's the thing, as much as I love Sequoia, and I do love the BDE that it brings, it's quiet energy, but it's bold. I think that it is too introspective for me. I don't want to have long conversations about the world and are aliens real, and what is life actually, and money is actually a construct, and time isn't real, and flat circle. And I'll be like, no, I mean, like, it's fine for a bit, but you're like, ugh.
Yeah,
It's not sexy.
I understand.
And it's not long term, but it's a good friend. It's a friend.
Oh, okay.
And that's where I'm going.
Yeah. There you go. Oof. Well, you guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with stories?
Sounds good.
Yes. And we're back. Okay, there's no tainted love this week, but I'm going to go ahead and kick us off with stories. I'd been talking to a girl on Tinder for a few weeks. We'd flirted and even sexted at this point, so I was very eager to meet in person. We met at a bar, and she was cute and charming, dressed a little trad wifey, but we talked at length about politics and were aligned, so no worries there. Hold on a second. Matilda is like, Jesus Christ.
All of a sudden, I was like, where is she going?
Sweet Jesus. Okay. All right. Anyway, we ended up chatting all night, and we got progressively tipsier and things got progressively more physical. So around midnight, we decided to take things back to her place. When we get there, we started making out and tearing at each other's clothes the second we walked in the door.
Damn.
So when we, well, they'd been talking for weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you got built
It's
up.
been sitting here.
Yep.
Built up tension. So when we made it to her bedroom, I didn't even think about turning on the light. The sex was great, and afterward, I fell asleep in her bed. Several hours later, I felt her get up, presumably to go to the bathroom. Bleary-eyed, I woke up and looked around. It wasn't quite daylight yet, but it was light enough to see, and as my eyes adjusted, I noticed that the walls were basically floor-to-ceiling terrariums. Odd.
Terrariums.
Yeah. Okay.
As my eyes focused more, I turned to look at the side table and came face to face with the biggest tarantula
No, thank
I
you.
had ever seen.
No, I'm good.
On the nightstand.
His name is like Fred. He's like,
Yeah.
hi.
Hi.
Are you mom's
Scared-
new friend?
Oh my
And
God.
can you imagine? Scared the shit out of me and definitely woke me up. As I looked around, I saw that there were hundreds of spiders
No.
in terrariums around the room.
No.
No, you gotta warn somebody. Listen, if you're
You've been
have
talking
to.
for weeks.
I think you have to tell somebody you have any kind of animal in the
True.
apartment because you don't know if they have an allergy, if they have a phobia, or
Also,
whatever.
spiders are a very common phobia.
But
Yes.
like
if
as
you
someone who's like been working on myself because I know that spiders are, they can't
So
help
good for
it
you.
that they were born in that body. But I was at someone's house and they had a tarantula. And I was like, live and let live. That thing can, stay over there,
You
whatever.
live in your
That's
world,
your
and
thing.
I live in mine. Yeah.
But when it started moving, they move so weird. And then it started.
And fast.
I didn't even know that tarantulas could do this because it was a glass, like fish tank terrarium. It started climbing up the side of the glass. And I was like, absolutely the fuck not. I am
Kid.
so sorry. It's
Spider-Man.
not your fault. You're right. You're right. I should have anticipated that. But like, it's not the spider's fault, but it's not for me. It's just not, it's simply not for me. Okay.
And balloons are not for me.
Yeah.
I get it.
Phobias are phobias.
Listen, it's real.
broke boys ain't for me.
There you go.
That's my phobia.
Phobia.
That's your phobia.
Broke boy phobia.
We had talked for weeks and she had never mentioned an enormous spider collection that she kept in the bedroom.
Do you feel
That
like you should have?
feels like a big part of your personality.
Exactly.
If you have more than 3, that's who you are. You're Spider Woman.
You're Spider
Like,
Woman.
Yes. Like there are certain things, like if you are into things, you like, I can't stop buying plants. You know what I mean? I feel like that would come up.
If you
would.
had to
I
make
was
an
like-
AOL chat name now, you'd be like Plant Girl 69 or something. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. But yeah, you would think it would come up. Okay. So
Later, it's like there were signs. Her name was Spider Girl 24
Truly,
or whatever.
right. And I feel like, yeah, also, and this has nothing to do with anything except for like weird stereotypes, but if she dresses like she just came off the prairie, I don't think I would assume that she's like a spider person. You know what I mean? Not
Right.
that those things go along
Yeah.
with it, but it's not like she showed up like with a tarantula belt buckle on, you know?
Yeah.
What is that? What? What?
You know,
Oh my God. Because people who collect spiders, that's how they dress, obviously.
well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't know either. But Tradwife wasn't the place I was going. I hear what you're saying.
No,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I quickly got up and dressed. I couldn't fall back to sleep knowing that I was being watched by hundreds of spider eyes. I made an excuse and got out of there. On the way home, I felt like they were crawling all over me.
I felt like they were just crawling on me right now.
You just had sex in front of an audience of
Yes.
spiders.
An audience. They were judging. They
Oh,
were holding up little
100%.
signs that were like,
yeah, that's actually cute.
yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. That's what you have to think about is that they were holding up like little numbers, judging you.
I will say the only spider I've ever seen that is cute is that little jumping spider. Have
That's
you
not
seen that?
cute. They jump, bruv.
Yeah, but they're like adorable looking. They're like Marcel the Shell, the spider form, you know?
Oh, I love that
Okay.
movie.
Even though the date was good and the sex was great, I ended things with her after that. The spider thing was just not my speed. I hope she's found someone who's into that, though. She was a nice girl.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, dude,
You can't ask her to give up her hobby, right?
no.
No. Like
Yeah.
that's her thing.
Someone
That's
is gonna
fine.
love
I do
that.
feel like she should have warned him.
Yeah.
Because if it had been me and I'd walked into that situation like not knowing, I might have had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Like if I just rolled over kind of half asleep in bed and was like face to face with a giant ass tarantula, are you kidding me?
No.
I would probably pee in your bed. This is so serious.
Probably 1000% you would.
Yeah.
You would piss the bed. Yeah.
No.
There's no, what else
You
you
would have
do?
for sure screamed. No question.
Yes. And then you look around and there's just like 100 other spiders there. No. Get fucked.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Get out of here with that.
Why do they gotta be in my bedroom?
Yeah. Like you can't keep these in the living room or something.
Truly.
Like, what is happening?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I've got one. 35 female, met a guy, 41, on Bumble, had dinner plans to go to a wing joint. I asked if we were still on a few hours prior to the date. He says, yep, just going to shower and jerk off.
Too much information, sir. You didn't have to do that.
Did you need to share that?
You don't gotta do
That's
that.
an inside thought. That's okay if that's what you're doing.
Sure.
I don't need to know about it. We've not been on a date yet.
Yeah, we have not met. Dude, if one of you guys said that to me, I
Can
would
you
fucking
imagine?
laugh. I would
Yes,
laugh. I
of
would think it
course.
was funny.
Yes.
If I knew it, or if it was one of my guy friends or
Yeah.
something, be like, yep, just gonna shower and jerk off. You know what I mean? I'd be like, oh, that's funny.
Kind of
Like
don't
if
want
you're
my
not
guy
trying
friends
to be.
do that though.
Yeah.
I can't think of a guy
no,
friend I would.
Not anymore.
I don't want.
I also wouldn't do that with you guys
I
either,
would.
unless it was like explicitly a joke.
Yes. Well, obviously would be.
Yeah. But I
And
wouldn't
I'm
be
going to
like
assume that it is because I don't want to think about it not being.
No, I don't like we've talked about everything under the sun on this
Yeah.
podcast,
Yeah.
and I love you both dearly. I still don't want
No.
the mental image
No.
of that.
No, but I
ever.
can see Christina being like, yeah, guys, I'm on my way. I'm just going to take a quick shower and jack off. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Like, I can see it.
I mean, it would be funny.
It kind
Yeah.
of depends, I think, on the sense of humor. Like, you guys know
100.
me to be completely dry and very,
true.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
We
But
would get it.
I think you'd be surprised if I that to
Girl,
Albie.
Yes.
I would be
I
like,
think it would
oh my
be-
God, she really is doing it.
It'd be that or like the who has Keegan's phone. Like
Yes.
somebody
Yes.
took her phone.
We will avenge you.
Yeah. I joked and said something like, whoa there, Mr. Perv, TMI, which apparently offended him greatly.
I'm
as he-
sorry. You're
I
offended.
offended you?
Oh, you offended you little feelings.
as he blew me off for our date. When I asked what the fuck after the fact, he said he thought I was mad. So he spent the evening anger cleaning and told me, don't ever call me a perv again.
Okay, sir.
But asked if I wanted to meet the next day.
Sir.
Why I said yes is anyone's
What?
guess. We meet at a Tim Hortons for coffee.
yes.
He starts
Okay, good.
he starts by joking that my soon-to-be ex-husband is going to show up and beat him up. He says this repeatedly.
Do you have a kink about that?
Sir.
That's what it seems like.
Even after I explain that the ex is out with his girlfriend, he still continues to eyeball the windows nervously. Then,
Dude.
after sitting down with our coffee, he asks if I want to go to his car to get some gum. No, thank you. A few minutes later, he asks again. And then again a few minutes later. Dude, if you want some gum, go get
some
it. I'll
fun
be right
gum.
here.
Yeah.
He harumphs, does not get the gum, and we continue talking, where the conversation devolves into him ranting about how Hollywood is shoving
Okay.
biracial
Here we
couples down his throat.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
My God.
What year is
Grandpa, what are you talking about? Shut up. You're embarrassing me.
Like, what? Are you kidding me? I ask if he has any big plans for the evening. He states he's going to go home and jerk off.
Oh my
At
God.
least he has a hobby.
Duh.
What is wrong with you? You see, I'm just
No.
like, I trust nobody. I'm like, this is what's out there,
No.
just walking around amongst us. Like, this is who you work with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
this guy has a job.
Yeah.
Like he
Works with people.
does things. Oh. So we walk to the parking lot after the fact, and he asks if he can kiss me. Now, I had just got out of a 14-year affection-starved relationship and hadn't kissed anyone but my ex in that time. So stupid me said yes. He kisses me, but then grabs my arm in a death grip and drags me to his car as I struggle to get
No.
away. Thankfully, he hadn't cleared the seat before his abduction attempt. So as he's trying to manage holding on to me while clearing off his seat, I did manage to wrench free, run to my car, and get the hell out of there.
What
the fuck?
fuck?
911, literally.
Yeah.
Jesus, dude. What are you, ice?
Oh, seriously.
Oh.
Too soon?
Oh.
Too soon. Sorry.
Yeah, we're still living in it. Yeah,
Ugh.
no.
Fuck that. Dude, that's
horrible.
scary as shit.
And then
911.
yeah, exactly. The kind of person that's just like okay with like telling a stranger, "Oh, I'm jerking off. I'm jerking off." Like, and then tries to do that. I'm like, you have an
No,
issue.
you have
dude.
problems,
Like
dude.
you are, not well.
Well, and very triggered by jokingly being called a perv.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which
Yeah.
I'm just like, there's some truth
Hit
there.
a little too close to home.
Mhm.
I am 100% positive that whatever bothers you the most, there's something there. There's a kernel there.
Yes.
Like people that really viscerally hate gay people, I'm
Is
like,
gay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, why does it bother you that much?
Why do you-
Right.
yeah. What is your deep concern with us? Feels
Or somebody that's like super, super concerned about biracial couples. I'm like,
Thou
just say
doth
that you're
protest.
attracted.
Yeah, you've got some
Attracted
attraction
to-
that you're having difficulty dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what you should do is navigate some therapy.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about that. I'm very excited to share this one with you. I was interested in this girl. I always find these kind, you guys. I was interested in this girl, and she kind of tricked me into a double date where she was dating another guy and had fixed me up with her sister. Being good sport, I went along with it, and it was awkward, but okayish. But then she set me up with her sister again, and then this time it was just the two of us. We went to the park. She had filled the trunk of her car with troll dolls. I mean, dozens and dozens of them.
Okay.
And
Troll dolls also, can we talk about what a weird fucking fad
Oh,
troll
dude.
dolls were / are? I guess with the troll movies, there's been kind of like a resurrection of that. But in the 90s, I had troll dolls.
Of
They were
course.
like a huge deal. And I'm like, who came up with this and decided to market it to children? And why was it so popular? Because they're so
we're so
weird.
popular. Yeah.
Dude, fucking, if you think back, cast your mind back to popular toys from our childhood, we had very strange toys.
We
I
had
remember
very
like
strange everything.
glowworms. Do you remember the glowworms,
Yeah.
Cass?
Yeah.
Of course.
Sky dancers. Do you remember Sky?
Oh, the
my
Sky
God.
Dancers.
I will never not think of that
loved those.
video. Where
Where-
it goes into
which
the
one?
fucking fire on Christmas.
Yes,
She's
the one
like,
where it
"Psh."
goes right into the fire. I feel like those were also dangerous, like weird projectiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the Sky Dancers. I mean, everything about our childhood was weirdly traumatizing.
Yeah.
When you think about the movies too, where I'm just like,
Atreyu.
what the
Oh my
fuck?
God. Yeah. We did have very strange like movies and toys.
Yeah.
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 Like even the ones like I don't understand why did like we need to see parents dying so frequently?
Everybody's
like
parents died.
Mufasa, Littlefoot's
Bambi.
mom, Bambi's mom. I'm like, what the fuck? Why do you have to see it? Why is it on camera?
A lot of death in our movies,
lot
to
of
be fair.
death.
I am still mega traumatized by All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Oh,
And also, of course, yeah,
fucking
in every way.
done. Yeah. Anyway, so spent the entire date introducing me to her trolls one by one.
No, shut up.
no.
Not only do you have them, they all have names.
Yup.
Look, dolls in general, not a problem if like you're a Barbie collector or whatever, but if you have like names, if you are attached to them like they're your children, I'm very, very freaked out.
This one's Jam.
No.
And listen, God forbid, it's kind of like the Spider Woman. You know what I mean? It's just like somebody.
God forbid someone have a hobby.
Yeah, truly. But it's, these are the kind of things, we've said it a million times. If you have a trunk full of troll dolls or a terrarium filled bedroom of spiders, these are things that need to be disclosed ahead of time. You have to have the self-awareness to know that not everybody is going through life with that same very niche interest, and may be unsettling to spring on somebody.
Well, and if you don't have that level of self-awareness, then I'm concerned. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm with you. If you have that many spiders, I feel like that is your profile picture on Tinder should be like you holding your tarantula,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
And like same thing if you have a trunk full of troll dolls, like
You
somebody
should
should
have
be totally chill about
he
that.
He was set up by her sister. So this wasn't like,
Oh,
I don't
blind
think this
date.
is like, I don't
Got
think this
it.
is
Okay.
like profile picture.
Understood.
Maybe because I'm just,
Sister's
Giving
like,
her-
you got to
giving
get
her-
out of the house.
yeah. Yeah.
Fucking touch grass.
So we need to be more conscientious about our blind dates. Like you gotta not spring that on some
Just
unsuspecting
because you have single friends doesn't mean that they should date.
dude. No.
Yeah.
Just you have one
In
friend
fact,
who's single, another
some of your single friends shouldn't be dating anybody.
truly.
Like
Let
Sorry.
them, let
they
them
should be
heal.
single.
I know you love them, but
Yeah.
there's a reason.
Yeah.
Leave it be.
I should mention we were in her 20s. She was getting frustrated and angry because I didn't seem to be that interested in her dolls. So sitting there, hands full of troll dolls, she's exasperatingly asks me, "So are we having sex? Do you even know how to have sex?"
Whoa.
Can you imagine? Can you picture that? Like somebody's
Handful of troll-
talking to you with hands full of troll dolls, and they're like, "So are we having sex or not?"
No.
Like, do you even know how to have sex?
Uh,
Ma'am, you have hands full of troll dolls. Okay?
It's
sorry.
like the least sexy
Yeah.
thing either. Like
No.
nothing about listening to you explain the names of your troll dolls. Like to go from that to sex is a weird jump
It's
that I'm just can't mentally
not
get
prepared
from.
for it.
No.
Can't do it. Not with you. I don't. I said, got up and walked home. There's only so much one can endure while being polite.
My God. Well, since we're not doing a tainted love this week, I think we're all going to tell at least one more story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few more.
Okay. This one's a little bit shorter. I had my face bitten 90 seconds into a date.
Oh, no.
Met this woman through a dating app. She was a couple years older than I was, so I assumed a certain level of maturity. I show up to pick her up to take her out to dinner. She answers the door and immediately asks if I want to see the apartment. I found this to be an odd question since she had a one bedroom and I could see most of it from the doorway.
I got the gist. That's fine.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, nice. Great. Not wanting to be rude, I stepped inside her apartment, looked around for a second, and told her that it was nice, and then asked if she wanted to go to dinner. She said yes. We exited the apartment. She stopped to lock up, so I linger a second to wait on her, and when I turn around to see if she's coming, she's lunging at me for a kiss.
Oh.
They've just met. Like, so inappropriate.
Oh.
Completely taken off guard and not being ready for that, I do this sort of side shuffle and turn my cheek to her. And instead of kissing my cheek, she bites it hard. Then I feel her teeth start to clamp down.
No. Oh, my
That feels like on
God.
purpose now.
Yeah, it's definitely on purpose. I scream, yell an expletive. She releases and then asks, "What? Afraid I'm going to leave a mark?"
Yes.
Yes,
Ma'am.
actually.
I actually think you're going to take part of my cheek with you. Do you not?
Right?
What is wrong with
Again,
you?
that's
I don't
if
know
that is your
you.
kink, that should be disclosed. Like if you're like, I like drawing blood. Like that should be disclosed.
I'm a chewy baby. I like biting. I bite.
That is your profile. I chewy baby.
I promptly ended the date. I don't know if it's my funniest, but it's certainly my weirdest.
Oh
my God.
God.
And that was also on Dating Over 30. So this person was
Oh.
older
Whoa.
than. So
Oh.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's not okay. You can't lead with that. Not to a stranger. Ugh.
No, again, like that's something that should be discussed. If that's your sexy time thing, we
Yeah.
need to talk about that
Or maybe
before we engage in it.
If they're being
Consent.
hot and heavy over text and is like, when I meet you, I'm gonna bite your face.
Diana, I wish you wouldn't. Sure
I would assume that wasn't serious if somebody said that to me.
Yeah.
Like it'd just be like cuteness aggression. I'd be like, oh, they want to bite my face. And then if they really did it,
Yeah, that'd
you
be
imagine?
terrifying.
No.
Ugh.
No, thank you.
Okay, this person says, I met a guy from Tinder at Taco Mac when I was 21. Let's call him Larry since I forgot his real name.
I need to pause
What's
at Taco Mac.
Sounds wonderful.
It's like a Taco Bell McDonald's mashup situation.
I don't know, but I need to look it up. We need to
Sounds
learn more
Tex-Mex,
about
if I'm honest.
Taco Mac. He texted me 20 minutes early asking what I'd like to drink, but I didn't see it until I walked in. No big deal until I realized Larry did not look like his photos. I usually don't judge, but using years old pics is shady, especially
judge.
since we Snapchat and I hadn't noticed a thing.
Oh, wow.
When I sat down, Larry was already tipsy and annoyed because the bartender refused to let him order a drink for me before I arrived. Good bartender, by the way.
Yeah.
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 Definitely. If you are working in the service industry, I know it's like annoying if you're a customer and you don't have bad intentions, but like you truly don't know who's going to
Yes.
order a drink ahead of time for
Yeah.
their date
Yeah.
and then spike it before they get there. So
Absolutely.
kudos to that bartender. He complained loudly about it, but I was more concerned he thought it was okay to order for me without
Yeah.
asking. Kudos to the bartender for shutting that down.
Yep.
Larry, meanwhile, was a mess. He admitted he'd only had one drink but got drunk because he just donated plasma for cash and hadn't eaten. His friend who was sitting across the restaurant had dropped him off. Things got worse. Larry said he was hungry, and while I grabbed a menu, he started chatting with the guy 2 stools over. Larry asked what he was eating, a quesadilla, if it was good, and then if he could have some.
What? No. No, you can definitely order your own though, sir.
Being that person?
No.
Like if a stranger came up to you at a restaurant and was just
What'd
like,
you
can I
have?
have a bite?
No.
Are you gonna eat all that?
You gonna
I don't
finish all
even
that?
share with my friends my food, let alone a fucking weird ass stranger.
Can I have some? To my shock, the guy gave him a huge piece, and Larry yelled for a plate and utensils before
Shut
diving
up.
in.
Oh no.
No shame. People
Listen.
bring shame back.
Bring shame back.
Make shame great again. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my God. I was done. Yeah, I would be too. Like a drunk guy that's taking food off a stranger's plates, I'd be like,
Gotta
that
go.
gives me such the ick.
I have to go.
Yeah, while Larry was busy talking to his new friend, I quietly asked the bartender for my check. She immediately understood. I paid, stood to leave, and Larry finally noticed. He asked why I was rushing off and if he could have a goodbye kiss.
no.
I told
We
him to
don't know each other.
No.
fuck off and left. He couldn't follow me because he still had to pay his bill, and I blocked him before I even got to my car.
Good for you. Woof. Woof.
She does have one edit to add. At some point, he got really pissed off at me after I casually mentioned I'd never seen Casablanca.
How dare
Okay.
you?
What a weird thing to be upset about.
Oh my God. Larry, the quesadilla eater.
Are we gonna is this gonna be the final one?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you a story of what would be my fucking worst date. You're
Oh,
gonna
no.
when you know, you know. You're gonna know.
Uh-huh.
There's no balloons involved, so I will applaud that. Met a guy in Bumble. This was so real for me that I read this to Chris earlier because I was like, I'm like, yeah. Met a guy on Bumble. We agreed to meet at a local wine bar where his friend's band was playing. We're talking as his friends set up, so we go on a walk so he can get some scenery shots as he's an amateur photographer. That's when the one-upmanship starts. Whatever skill, interest, fact about myself I mentioned, he had to respond, and he had better. Finally, we go back to the wine bar. This isn't even the worst part for me because I'm like,
But I could totally see
nerves.
that annoying you.
yeah, I mean,
Cassie.
I understand nerves though, and I feel like I try so hard not to be that person because I want to be relatable. But then I'm like, am I doing the one up thing? I'm not trying to. I just want to be your friend. Finally, we go back to the wine bar. When we get back, a lot of his friends have arrived. He doesn't introduce me to any one of them. And when they ask if I'm his girlfriend, he's quick to say no. The band starts playing, and it's all experimental, improvisational jazz.
Oh, I knew it. I was like,
Already hate it. And then they invited him to join them to sit in. Come on up, guy.
Oh,
Hey, guy. Hey, friend. Come on up. Why don't you pop up here? All I can imagine, Ron Burgundy with his flute coming out of his. I'm not prepared. That's how I discovered he did political spoken word stream of consciousness poetry
Shut
using an alter ego.
no. I'm sorry. You just broke my brain. There's so many things to unpack there. Political spoken word, like
In an alter ego.
Stream of consciousness poetry with an alter ego.
It's bad. You know it's bad. There's no way this is good.
I need to find this immediately, if not sooner.
Backed by an experimental improvisational jazz.
It's definitely on YouTube, Christina. Like someone like this,
fucking
it's
hate
it's on YouTube for sure.
I'm finding it.
There's nothing
I'm
I could
sending
hate
it.
worse. This, I would literally like, my brain at that moment just broke. Jazz makes me irrationally angry already.
I know. Yeah.
Listen, and even if we have the same political views, poetry also makes my brain irrationally angry. I at some point,
poetry,
my brain would
there's
break.
poetry and then there's spoken word.
It's
Yes,
different.
let's be
That-
real.
You're
Different.
right. Okay.
Yeah, and stream
Clarified.
of consciousness, spoken word.
Oy vey.
We're there's levels to this.
Yeah.
Oh, the layers. He wandered in between his poems. He wandered the bar talking to everyone while I sat by myself. And his guy friends tried to pick me up.
Oh my God.
His female friends all gave me the evil eye. The bartender gave me a free glass of wine because she said I looked like I was on the worst date ever.
The bartender is the only sane one here. The
Only.
girlfriends, like the girlfriend's giving her the evil eye for what?
For what,
Like,
honey? Have him.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you what, you do not make enough money to bartend at a place that is offering that
no.
kind. Can you imagine
you
dealing
imagine
with that
how
all
high
night?
that bartender is? So high.
I'd quit
just
my
to
job.
make it through.
I would quit my job that very
Cassie, yeah, you
hour.
couldn't.
Not even I couldn't make it an hour. What the fuck am I talking about? As soon as that band started to be like, you know what, guys?
And
It's
not
been
even
real.
that. It's the kind of people that place attracts too. Is like what you're gonna have the most
worst.
insufferable people who think they're artists.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah.
it's
Hope you're
giving
stocked up fucking PBR.
It's
and-
giving that guy that does that's always on the Instagram reels that is like really close in your face and it talks like this. Hey, he has got a lot of mouth sounds.
Oh.
You know what I'm
Oh,
talking
no.
about. I sent you the videos. I send them to my friend Gabe all the time.
you did. Yeah, you did.
Because they're
I remember.
so fucking
No,
hilarious. He's like, hey, so was oh, it's awful. So, okay, finally, I'd had enough and planned to walk out when he came over and said the least he could do is walk me to my car, which he did, and then hugged me goodbye before walking away back to the bar. The weirdest part is he texted me like a day later to say he thought we had great chemistry and should do
course he
that
did.
again.
Of course he did.
No, thank ya.
Yeah. No. Wow. Oh my
Horrifying.
gosh.
This is literally my worst date.
No, it's yeah, you finally found yours.
Yeah.
We've found Keegan's a couple of
few
times
times.
and
A
mine.
A few times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Cassie, I think this one and the fucking puppet in the trunk were particularly bad for you.
Yes. Except
Puppets
that, you know
in
what's
trunk
funny?
or trolls in trunk? What's worse?
You know what's funny though, Christina, is that you're the one who brings up the puppets and it goes out of my mind until you bring it up again. So I believe that one might
Well,
be your
is it-
worst date.
Isn't that one also? I do not like puppets.
No.
Except for I'm going to shout out
Muppets.
Annabelle for burning down that plantation this week. But
Oh, girl.
but what else?
Oh my god.
But no, I really do not care. I don't care for the weird lines on the side of their mouths. I don't like that at all. But also,
What about
wasn't that-
Muppets?
No. Oh, well, I mean, they're fine.
The
It's
Muppets?
The Muppets.
I love Muppets.
The Muppets are fine. It's the fucking mannequin
Ventriloquist.
dolls.
marionette.
You
You
don't
don't
like-
like you don't like the marionette dolls.
I don't like
The
yeah.
ventriloquism
stuff.
dolls. Dummies,
No.
yeah.
I don't care for that.
I hate that.
It's deeply unsettling. But isn't that also the date where he like chased her to the front door or something too?
No, I think that was a different one.
Oh.
I think that there was one where he chased her to the front door. That one was very scary. Maybe they're the same. I don't know. Things run together. But okay, at this point, we've had puppets. We've had
Trolls.
troll dolls. We've had Care
Care
Bears.
Bears.
Do you remember the Care Bears?
Yes. That
Yep.
was an early episode.
It was, and she took pictures of the Care Bears with her food,
Yes.
and
Right.
there was photo evidence. You showed
Yes.
them to us, the pictures.
Yes.
Oh man,
She had like a
People are
whole
weird.
TikTok or Instagram account with them, I think, or something.
I mean,
Listen,
find your niche.
God forbid a woman has a hobby.
truly.
Well, I wanted to close with, since it would be my Tainted Love week, I think I'm going to share something good from this week,
Nice.
just to close it out, like on a positive note,
Yeah.
since the world is a disaster. And on the surface, okay, this is going to start out not feeling super positive, but it warmed my heart. So the Diddy trial started, and Cassie testified. Not our Cassie, obviously.
but-
Cassie testified, and it was so, like, first of all, so brave for
Yeah.
her to get up in front of those people and testify. But the thing that I really wanted to share was that her life seems to have completely turned around in a really positive way. She is married to this guy named Alex Fine. She's got 2 children. She's pregnant right now. So she was testifying pregnant. And I just wanted to share, he finally made a statement and I wanted to share it. So in his statement, he addressed Combs, P. Diddy, and quote, all of those who helped him along the way, please know this. You did not break her spirit nor her smile that lights up every room. I have felt so many things sitting there. I have felt tremendous pride and overwhelming love for Cass. I have felt profound anger that she has been subjected to sitting in front of a person who tried to break her. I did not save Cassie, as some people have said. To say that is an insult to the years of painful work my wife has done to save herself.
Aw.
Cassie saved Cassie. She alone broke free from abuse, coercion, violence, and threats. She did the work of fighting the demons that only a demon himself could have done to her. All I have done is love her as she has loved me.
Oh, King.
I wanted to share that because, you know, she went through something so horrific and scary, and probably at times in that relationship with P. Diddy where, I mean, I hesitate to even call it a relationship. She met him at 19. He was completely in control of her career.
Life.
I'm sure she
Everything.
thought that
Yeah.
she would never get out of it at times. And here she is thriving on the other side of it with somebody who really loves and supports her and stands by her side every step of the way. So all of the kind of cynicism that I have about people and, you know, life, and have even expressed in this very episode, there's a lot of good people out there still, and that will love and support you and stand by your side no matter what. So
Oh, that's good.
don't give up.
Yeah.
And what a perfect statement to really just like address the fact that he didn't save her and
Yes.
just like
Acknowledge her work.
give
Yeah.
give her props.
Mhm.
That's incredible. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
And I'm telling everybody, I literally am strong arming Cassie and Keegan to watch the rehearsal.
You are.
You really
yeah,
are.
You brought it up like several times, so I'm like,
Yeah.
shit, I really do need to watch
Okay.
this.
Fine.
Season 2, episode 3 about Captain Sully is one of the craziest things I've ever seen on television. Is the funniest thing I've ever seen. If you
Didn't
need
you
a
say
laugh,
that it was puppets?
there are puppets in that. Yes.
Okay.
Interesting. Interesting.
And not really even puppets, like puppet people, I guess is the best way.
Okay.
It's very
I can't-
Avenue Q.
Okay.
People.
I want to
Puppets?
see the expense report for this show. I
Oh,
really
no.
do. It's insane. So
Says
anyways.
the Capricorn of the group.
yeah, exactly. Well, if you have something that we should watch, if you have a really terrible date story, if you have a piece of good news, and if you just want to reach out and say hello, go to our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com. And we love you so much. Cheers.
Cheers.